get a little bit more into the elbows. Again, I was mentioning earlier in the film that the hand has to be at a 45-degree angle, not the 90-degree. Let me explain why. As I've turned Marshall into this technique, we'll go this way, and I dropped him down. I'm going into the choking technique. If he comes up for the reach and the grab, okay, and I want to drop down on his clavicles or some targets in there, if I keep my arms up at 90 degrees, nothing happens, okay, because it's soft against the bone. The bone and the trapezius muscle here, okay, is protecting the inner nerves. So if I come down, I'm on the trapezius and the collarbone and there's no effect. If I just turn the hands out 45, we're down there, okay, we can find that target really quick. Busy?
No, that was good.
Okay. Yeah. Just by turning, just like the form shows, okay, you're going to be able to affect those nerves because it wasn't protected by either of these structures. Again, if let's turn sideways here, Marsh. No, you can stand upright. Okay, if I have the hand at a 90-degree angle, you see how the trapezius stops and I have this space in here. Even the clavicle, if I really hammer down so the trapezius muscle compressed, the clavicle is going to protect. As I turn that hand 45 degree, my elbow is right in that hollow pocket in there, and I can press to get that weakening. So again, the hands that are in that 45-degree angle from your form, whether it's the punch, the tan sao, the fuk sao, whatever you're doing in that form, you need to keep that elbow at a 45-degree angle. It works on so many different targets that we could use. Now, earlier I was saying if I got the person in here and the person went for a waist tackle, okay, I have other techniques. One of them is using that elbow, okay, and just dropping right down in there, whether it's on the spine, trapezius, or right into the pocket. So again, these elbows are very important when you're doing your form. Make sure you have those at the right angle. Let me show you a little bit more about this target. Now, he's got a gi on, so it's a little bit tougher, but you have the clavicle here coming across. You have trapezius muscle. All right, thanks, Marshall. Okay, you have to go in back of the clavicle and in front of the trapezius, so you got this little hollow pocket in here. And it depends on the build of the person. If you've got a stockier person, someone does a little weightlifting, sometimes this trapezius muscle gets so thick, or the sternocleidoid mastoid gets so thick you can't get into that pocket. So you have to gauge the anatomy of your partner, okay, or your opponent. Now, there are 3 nerves in the brachial plexus that comes across like this. You can strike either one of those, okay? You'll have a great effect. Underneath, you'll have the arteries, okay? And you need to get past the nerve to get to the arteries to get some of those deeper effects, but you don't have to. You can just work on the nerves themselves. If I got behind the person and just did this, you can weaken the whole body out just by stretching those nerves a little. Sorry about that. Okay, so you really want to work with those nerves. Now, what I did with Marshall here is I took my finger and I ran across the 3 nerves, almost like a guitar string. Okay, and I felt each one of those little separations. Now, it takes a long time. Now, I'm standing still too, so of course I can feel that. If I was in more of a fighting situation, I just grabbed, okay, I'm not going to feel it so much. My adrenaline's going to be going. But if I'm in here and I work on that, I can just instantly grab in there and get that targeting. I didn't feel the nerves, but I know they're there. So again, slow practice is great to begin, okay? Pick up the speed, pick up the intensity, and that's what this drill is all about. We're going to take this back again. After we've hit the nerve right in through here and we strike that facial nerve, I don't want to show you that again because we showed you earlier many times on that facial nerve already, and even then the pulling into the neck. So let me show you a little bit more on the pulling of the neck. You have the transverse cervical nerve that actually comes across from the back in back of the muscle here, and it comes across and it looks again like a branch system or a root system. So you have what's called stomach 9 here. Okay, if you want to label it stomach 9, that's fine. And you get great body reaction by working with that. But that point is right here. But if I push here, I get a good result. If I push here, I get a great result. So this whole structure is all nerve, okay, because you have these different branches. So you don't have to be point specific. And that's one of the people's biggest complaints about Kyusho that don't do Kyusho. You'll never hit it in a fight. You're not going to hit a pressure point in a fight. Well, if you've got an area this big, if you can't hit that in a fight, more training is needed. Okay? But you can also grab this, and it doesn't matter which finger I use. Okay? Sorry. All I did was I plucked in with this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, like I'm playing the guitar. You get that nerve. If I've just punched it, it's even better. So once I've grabbed onto that neck muscle, I can drop them with this. I don't need this, but it's just extra. All right. Now, we were working earlier also, sorry Tom, you're getting an extra one, okay, with the occipital here. These nerves come up and they go up into the skull. Got the lesser and the greater occipital. Now, I'm using my forearm as a slicing action. Now, it's hard to see with the camera, so I'm going to use the iron bone hand from the bubishi. If I slice across these nerves, if I push in one, it hurts. It weakens the body. If I strike one, you get a shocking effect too. When you strike across, boom, here, okay, you get a weakening. Picked a good one to come up on. All right. So you're just sliding across. So if I use my whole forearm with that action coming across like the bonsai, that's what's going to weaken the body. And again, turn one more time. Again, I'm forcing the nerves against the skull. The energy is going into the spine, the central nervous system, and up into the brain. So less information is coming down to strengthen the muscles to keep the body weight supported and the muscles strong. So again, the bonsai is a great application on the back of the neck, your fukusao, the punch, whatever you want to do. Knowing the target allows you to use each part of this form on that one target. And as a challenge to yourself, you take one target, whether it be behind the jaw, whether it be the eye, it could be the body targets, whatever you're working with, and make each piece of your form work on that target. Okay, and that way you have, if you have one target, you have a whole new kata or a whole new form to work with. If you add a second target and you do the same thing, now you have 2 Siu Nim Taos. You take a third target, you got 3 Siu Nim Taos. It could go exponential, and when you start mixing and matching, you have an infinite form. All right, and this is the power of Kyusho, and this is the power of your Siu Nim Tao.